Welcome to RV Hour, powered by Giant Recreation World. An honest talk about the RV lifestyle, travel, costs, tips, and everything you need to know. Each week, we'll bring you the best and most helpful info, travel hacks, and answer your camping questions. Now, here's your host, Larry McNamara, CEO of Giant Recreation World.
So we left off last podcast promising to talk about a checklist that everybody can follow whether you're coming or going in your RV.
Yeah.
For motorhomes. See, last podcast we did travel trailers.
The travel trailers.
And I promised, the lists are not the same between a trailer and a motorhome.
And a motorhome.
Although there's a lot of similarity.
Okay.
But this one, if you have a motorhome, you can download this or open this podcast on our website.
Yeah.
And it'll explain to you what to look for, why to look for it.
Yep.
And just remind you might have it. And you know what I mean? So first, we talked about before, I think we started on the interior and then we moved to the exterior.
Correct.
So how about things to check while you're leaving your campsite?
Okay. What do you got?
That way you got to make sure you put away all loose items around or even under the rig. A lot of people put lawn chairs under there.
Yeah.
Coolers and things like that, rugs, grills, etc. Why? Because, when it rains, they don't want that stuff to get too wet.
Okay.
So they put it under there.
Gotcha.
And if you stumble out of bed and get up in the cockpit and just go, next thing you know, you crushed all your stuff. And some of those chairs, for gosh sakes, are like hundreds of dollars each.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You get real bougie with those campers.
Oh, yeah.
And I suggest you highly do. Why? Because people will judge you.
Yeah. You want to be in comfort.
You want to be in comfort, and you want somebody driving by saying, yeah, they know what they're doing.
That guy got a rocking chair.
Look at that.
Chair up there. Yeah.
Just, off subject, the other day I was driving through a campground, and I saw somebody that had almost like whole dog park
Oh, really?
set up outside their rig. So their little dogs could play and utilize the entire space, but not get not get loose.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's nice.
It was portable cage setup they had. It was pretty cool.
Oh, that is neat. A little playground out there for them.
Beds in there. They had carpet. All kinds of,
wow. Look at that.
the king and queen.
Little pups. Yeah.
Very nice.
Oh, that's fun.
So what else you got to do? Make sure that the service center. Make sure you unplug your power cord. Have you ever seen people drive away when they're done filling fuel up?
Yeah, at the gas station.
Forget to put the hose back onto
on the rack.
Right out. Next thing there's problems.
Driving down the street with a hose hanging.
That's the worst thing you could do. Let alone leave your gas cap off and all that kind of stuff. You got to do. Make sure you do that. Unhook your water. Unhook your cable TV wire if you got that hooked up.
Yeah. Because I would see that being everything, your sewage, your power cords, everything that's just anything that's on the external outside, make sure you have put it away.
You should always dump your tanks and flush them.
Okay.
If you're at a campsite that has that facility.
Okay.
Most luxury campsites, we are talking about motorhomes, do have a hookup for your sewer.
Oh, that's nice.
So, and most of these motorhomes I'm talking about have an auto flush.
Okay.
So you hook your water hose to it, and it actually sprays water inside the tank to clean it all out. Oh, wow. And you can let that just constantly do it.
Just let that run for a while.
If the gate valve's open. So
okay.
That's a good time saver for you, or money saver. Because if you have to call the guy that cleans the tanks out, that costs you hundreds of dollars. But there is professionals that'll
do it for you.
Okay.
You don't have to deal with it.
Hey, it's a whatever job, but somebody's got to do it.
Somebody's got to do it. Yeah.
All right. Check your water levels. I always say don't travel with your freshwater potable holding tank full, because it just adds weight.
Yeah, just extra weight.
And if something was to break loose, then you could have a lot of water inside the coach, and that's a pain.
Yeah.
But enough where if you're going to use the sink or whatever, or even use the toilet while you're traveling,
right?
Have enough air to operate, but not a whole thing.
Okay. All right. That's a good point there. Yeah, man.
Of course, you got to do your walk around and check your exit routes.
Yeah.
To make sure you have enough room to corner and go around trees. Maybe some limbs might have fell, so you might have to, get out your chainsaw like us Florida men like to do, clear a path, right?
Sir.
do that.
Oh, no, that's a good one, too. Yeah, because the branches move at night in the storms with the winds. Any of that stuff could mess up your awning. Yeah, man.
Now, some motorhomes are old enough to have what they call pilot lights. Some of them used to have pilot lights.
Oh, wow.
For the LP gas appliances.
Yeah, the propane.
They're all electronic nowadays, so they don't have pilot lights. They have a piezo igniter that sparks and makes the flame go on when it needs to.
Oh, okay.
But if you do have pilot lights, make sure you shut them all off while you're in transit. They can blow out, and the older ones don't have a safety feature to where if they blew out, they would keep spewing LP gas.
Oh, wow. Jeez.
So it could fill the chamber, and a spark could set that off.
Yeah.
Don't want to scare nobody.
Yeah. Check your pilot lights, people.
Check your pilot lights, turn them off. And, a lot of bridges, you're not allowed to have pilot lights on when you're going into bridges and stuff. Maybe because they might have pockets of gas inside those bridges. Who knows?
Oh, that's interesting.
But, yeah. So there you go. How about, police the campsite. Pick up all your trash.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If they had a grill that's like a permanent type of grill, clean the ashes out of it.
Yeah.
The charcoal.
Oh, that's good.
Leftovers. If you had a fire pit, clean the ashes out of that. Put it all in the garbage bags, and as you leave, a lot of people just throw the garbage bag on top of the hood or whatever, or on their tow car.
Yeah.
And as you're leaving, you always go past the dumpster.
Big dumpster, yeah, and just toss it out there. Yeah, that's a good one. If you bring it in, you should probably take it out with you.
That's a fact. Now, before you go, I think everybody should have a list of personal information to keep on board, so to speak, like all of your medical information.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah.
Including medicines,
Mm-hmm.
So you have it with you.
Yeah.
If you ask me what all medications I'm on, I can't remember.
Yeah.
I have one for this, I have one for that, but I don't know the names of them. I don't know
the list,
the date, the doses.
The doses. Any of that stuff. Yeah.
Emergency contact information. So, if you were to fall out, someone knows who to call.
Yeah.
Your driver's license, your proof of insurance, your registration, things like that you don't think of about, but always have them. We were talking in the sales meeting this morning with our man Bartow, and guess what he said?
What's he got?
He said that our proof of insurance, the registration is a problem. A lot of customers from up north don't seem to have them.
Oh, good.
When they want to trade their unit in. So it's a pain for them to locate it and get it to us so they can trade their vehicle in.
Gotcha. So always have that on.
I'm thinking to myself, how are you supposed to be driving around if you don't got no registration?
Yeah, you don't have your registration with
What does the cops always say?
License and registration.
Maybe even insurance now. Right?
Yeah. Oh, that's pretty interesting.
That's another thing. Trip routing information. We've talked about those apps that are really good for RVs that warn you of low bridges and
oh yeah,
low hanging limbs.
Yes, that is it's a very scary thing. You see a bridge coming, you're not sure if you're high or low enough for it.
That's a fact. I know I was watching the news the other day, and right on the I-75, one of those bridges right over the interstate got hit by a semi truck, and those things are tall.
Yeah.
So this must have been an above average height.
Yeah, very large semi.
Nobody was paying no attention. But usually semis have no problem going under those bridges on the interstate.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Now, just imagine if he was off the interstate,
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
In a neighborhood, they got a whole bridge.
Well, my neighborhood's well canopied, with the oak trees and the huge limbs that go over the whole road.
Oh,
no way I'm getting an RV inside my neighborhood.
No.
So again, you have to do your police.
Yeah, make sure you do your research on it.
And, always have that chainsaw just in case you need to cut your way through. There you have it. What we're doing, folks, is talking about things that you need to make sure you check before you leave or go in your motorized RV. So let's talk about the exterior.
What do you got on the outside?
Well, always before you go or come or whatever, check your engine fluid level.
Oh, that's a good, yes, always.
Every time. A lot of the average mileage on a motorhome actually is about 5,000 a year.
Wow.
It's a thing that sits there until you need it. You don't always use it.
Yeah, but you always want to check it.
You always want to make sure that you had nothing dripping or whatever, unlike your car,
Okay.
So your engine oil, your brake fluid, a lot of people don't even think to check the brake fluid.
Yeah. So even if it's in storage, is that something you should even keep up on?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if it's in storage a long time, always have the fluid levels all changed.
Yeah, changed up before your trip.
They can lose their viscosity or whatever, and they could coagulate.
Oh, man.
You know.
Yeah, it cause all kinds of engine problems.
Always check that engine coolant level, transmission fluid.
Oh, yeah.
And if you don't know how to check the transmission fluid, always refer to the owner's manual, but things like engine oil and transmission fluid and things that said you should always kind of check them when they're hot.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Yeah, and run that transmission through a few gears.
Yeah.
So it uses what it needs to, and it'll tell you what the level really is.
Yeah, and as our listeners, if that's something you would ever be interested in seeing, send us an email, marketing@grwrv.com, and let us know if you'd like to see a video on something like that,
That's right.
So how to change it on different units and where your oil plug even is.
That's all good. I mean, did you know, like, Mercedes-Benz cars don't even have an oil drain plug?
Jeez.
So you have to go to Mercedes and get your oil changed because they have to suck it out.
Yeah.
Basically.
Oh, gee.
Now, I don't know if the Sprinter chassis vans are that way or not.
Yeah.
You see, I could learn something. So
Yeah, we'll have to ask somebody on that one. That might be on the next show here.
what's another thing to check? Oh, yeah. Check when your engine compartments, like if you can see any drips underneath, that'll warn you that you might have some leaking, that needs attention,
Okay.
Hoses and fittings, belts, check them for dry cracking or leaks,
Yeah.
and those usually show up. You can see just a little trail of something underneath the hoses,
Yeah.
and that's bad.
Now, does it make it all the way to the concrete? Like, is that going to make a puddle?
Sometimes they do. Sometimes they don't.
Yeah.
So
Look around, see if you see
like the top hose that comes from your radiator to the engine is on top of the engine, so it'll drip down that engine, and if it's real hot, it'll just evaporate.
Oh, jeez.
So you won't even
know it's leaking.
even know it.
Oh,
Right. Now, when you stop and for a long time, and if it's still leaking, it'll show up.
Then you'll see it, but otherwise, that's pretty scary. It's just evaporating. Wouldn't even know it's there.
Sometimes these leaks don't show up until it gets hot. They get hot and pressurized. Like like your engine coolant, it pressurizes when you start the engine.
Oh, okay.
Where when it's just sitting there in the radiator, it's not pressurized. You can open the cap, no problem, nothing.
Nothing's happening.
You know what happens
Yep.
though if you open it when it's hot?
When it's hot,
That's full of pressure. It
Gotcha.
could burn you and all that kind of stuff.
wow, that's
Always check for leaves or nests or other debris lodged in the compartments or around the engine and all. I mean, axles, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You got to give them a good one, especially if they're in storage. You mentioned that storage.
Yeah, look around. It's interesting you say a nest in there. You park for a couple of weeks out camping. Next thing you know, you got a bird's nest in your wheel well.
A lot of the, not all of them, have liquid acid batteries.
Okay.
Those new highfalutin Tesla kind of batteries are not out yet, really,
Gotcha.
for RV.
Gotcha. Okay.
So you have to maintain the water levels, especially in the coach battery. They are serviceable as a rule because they're marine deep cycle batteries.
Oh, okay.
So you have to maintain the water levels in there.
Yeah, keep on that. Oh, because I'm sure that evaporates over time as well.
Absolutely. And the ways RVs work, I mean, the power converter is also a charger that keeps your batteries charged. So it's always being charged and discharged and charged and discharged.
Okay.
And at the full level of charge, the batteries may boil a little,
Yeah.
So again, all that kind of stuff will deplete the water.
Gotcha.
Or acid, whatever you want to call it.
Oh,
And you always use not regular water, distilled water. See? Did you learn?
No, that was a good one. Distilled water.
You have to use distilled water.
I've been putting spring water this whole
Never
time.
do that. Never.
Oh, wow, that's interesting.
in it.
Distilled
There's
water. Yeah,
minerals in
will mess it up.
And it'll mess up the lead core.
Oh, wow, that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, so, again, you never know what I know until I say it. Isn't that right?
That's a fact.
Make sure your windshield's clean and your windshield washing fluid is full.
Oh, that's full, yeah.
Check cracks and for rock chips on your windshields too, and check your wipers.
Yeah, the wipers, those get sun-dried, next thing you know, you don't realize until the storms come.
Yeah, and then it's pouring rain. You turn them on and they do
Nothing.
nothing.
We are going to pull over and park.
I'm a proponent of also that stuff you put on the glass.
Oh, the Rain-X.
Rain-X
Yeah.
type stuff. It's not the only brand.
No, there's lots of brands out
But
there.
did you
This
know
is
you can
not
actually
supported.
cut a potato in half and use the potato?
Get out of town.
Oh, yeah. Of course, it might attract bugs.
Well, I mean, you're going to have bugs on your windshield anyways. But get out of town, really. You can put them.
For a short time, works like Rain-X.
Yeah, that's something new. Yeah, a little DIY on that
You've
one.
never used Rain-X, folks. It is worth its weight in gold, especially in a lot of rainy conditions.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you could drive at highway speeds and not even have to use your windshield wipers.
Yeah.
Washers.
Windshield washers.
Yeah.
Window wipers.
Yes. How about your exterior mirrors? Make sure they're properly adjusted.
Also.
In motorhomes, a lot of them have, power adjustments and all that.
Mhm.
But if the main arm gets loose, because they're usually thrown out, they're pretty good like a bus.
Okay.
It can fold in, and the power option won't help you. So make sure that they're nice and tight, or they'll wobble, and that's just aggravating if your mirrors are wobbling.
Yeah. Trying to change lanes, you can't even tell where the car is.
Always got to check your exterior lights to make sure they're all working and clean and bright.
Mhm.
We talked about in all, even travel trailers have the marker lights, and those are along the top exterior of the coaches.
Okay.
Kind of like a semi truck you see at night.
Yeah. Almost like a running light type deal, let's say. Okay.
That's what they are, and they're called running.
The running lights. Bam.
So, with that being said, the newer ones are LED, and they're really not serviceable. But now the amber or the red caps over them, the plastic lens covers,
right?
They can get dirty and can show dullness. So
Gotcha.
Take those off and clean them. But if you have the old style regular bulb, 12-volt bulb, you have to make sure those contacts are clean.
Service that, yeah. Switch that out if it needs it. Yeah.
And that's always something you do before your big trip or before you head out from your big trip.
Okay.
Brake lights, turn signals, all that. You got to check them all.
That's a big one.
Most of them, if they're starting to get, if you get bulbs out, a lot of them will start blinking real fast when you turn the turn signals on.
Okay.
That's just an indicator telling you need to check your bulbs.
Gotcha. Like in a car, almost when that's out, it says same. Oh, okay. That's awesome.
Now the newer highfalutin things are out nowadays. The dash will tell you. But hey,
turns on and tells you, hey, fellow, you got a blinker out.
All right, wait. We'll get back to this list when we get back from the short break.
Stop waiting to take a vacation. You can take a safe, fun family trip anytime when you've got an RV. Try before you buy at Giant Recreation World. Brand new RV rentals, drivable or towable with easy pickup or delivery. Go for a weekend or go off the grid for a bit with long or short-term rentals. Your unit will be fully stocked and turnkey, plus you'll get trained up and have full-time phone support if you need it. So stop waiting. Plan your next adventure now with a Giant Recreation World rental. Visit the Winter Garden location or visit giantrecreationworld.com for more details.
Welcome to RV Hour, powered by Giant Recreation World.
Hey, we're back. I hope you enjoyed that quick message from Giant Recreation World. Just to remind you, we have 3 locations in Central Florida.
That's right.
One is right where I'm sitting at our main headquarters in Winter Garden on West Colonial Drive, West Orlando. And the other one is in Ormond Beach, down up north of us at the Destination Daytona complex.
Mm-hmm.
And then south of us on the I-95 is our Palm Bay location. Palm Bay Road and Culver Drive. So that being said, visit any one of them. We'll be glad to work with you.
Yeah, man.
And help you through any of your challenges that you may be having or need or answer some questions. We're all there to help.
Yeah, we pride ourselves on customer service.
So we're talking about checklists, what to remember to check before you go or come home from your RV or go to your campsite or on vacation or whatever. Mm-hmm. And this actually can go with your vehicle too, your cars and all that.
Yeah, there's
things that in the old days you pulled up to the gas station. Guess what they did for you? All of this.
Yeah.
They don't do nothing like that.
Nothing anymore.
We're on motorhome checklists. We're going around the exterior.
That's right. What do we got?
Next, I say tires.
Oh, the tires.
You have to make sure that they're properly inflated.
Yes.
You know, and the pressure on the side of the tire says maximum PSI.
Mm-hmm.
That's just the most the tire can hold. It's not what you put in it.
Right.
Refer to
That's
owner's manual.
Great
or
point.
if it's a Class C, you open up the driver's door and there'll be a data sticker in there talking about what inflation to have in your tire.
Okay, what the best BSI for
On
it
a
is?
Class A, it'll be next on the inside wall next to the cockpit, the driver's seat.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. So
Yeah, and I mean, I'm sure a tire gauge is even something best for your RV toolkit.
absolutely. You know, I always say carry a small compressor. They make those little portable compressors.
Okay,
You know,
just for emergencies.
that have that also have like a flashlight built into it, and it'll also maybe even do a jump start on the battery.
Yeah.
They have like an all-in-one kit,
Yeah, man.
and those I supply those to all of our sales departments because they're very versatile and useful.
That they are. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure we sell them in our parts department here.
We
as well.
certainly do.
Yeah, man.
Giant Recreation World RV parts and accessories. You know, we will not be undersold unless some of our vendors sell it to Amazon. Then maybe you can buy it cheaper than I do. So, just saying.
Too funny.
Yeah, proper tire inflation and pressure is the number one cause of blowouts by people not keeping them properly inflated.
Yeah, yeah.
A lot of times they get a nail and don't know it.
Okay.
And if you're driving at highway speeds, the only warning might be the blowout.
Yeah,
itself,
that's
which
right.
can cause
Severe damage. Yeah.
and
Scary.
can be a health risk because it can make you wreck.
Yeah, you ain't kidding.
Yeah. Make sure the sidewalls of your tires are not dry checked, dry rotted, whatever you want to call it. If you can see little cracks in it,
Okay.
replace them.
Get those replaced, yeah. Because I'm sure that causes blowouts as well. Over time, that just lets loose. And
Yeah, in the Florida sun, they dry rot tires quickly.
Yeah.
And matter of fact, we have a policy at Giant Recreation World that if your tires are 5 years old or older, we replace them before you buy the RV from me.
Oh,
Unless it's a wholesale dealer or something we work at as is, was is.
okay. Just
But
keep you safe.
as a rule, if we're going to sell something retail, we're going to make sure the tires are safe.
There you go. And I'm sure we sell tire covers in our parts department.
A lot of people use tire covers for when they're actually in storage or at the campground because they don't want the sun beating.
Okay. Gotcha. Yeah,
That's always a good ounce of prevention, always worth a pound of cure.
Here it is.
I love those adages. There's so much truth in, And my I got a classic 1960 Suburban.
Okay.
And I got two flat tires just sitting there in the driveway.
Get out of town.
It turns out my valve stems were cracking. Dry checking.
Yeah.
I had to replace my valve stems, which is where you fill the tires. You know.
And it's just slowly
It was
leaking
just
out.
slowly.
It's
So again,
Florida sun, yeah, just over time.
it'll
Yeah.
get you. Don't forget about the valve stems. Some people actually have valve stem extenders that for the inner dual rear wheels,
Okay.
so they can easily reach it with any kind of gas station air pump or whatever.
Yes.
You know, you need specialized equipment to reach inside the dual to get to it. So those things also can come loose or they can dry check.
Yeah.
So make sure you check.
Yeah, double check all of that.
Them big truck drivers walk around with those billy little clubs.
Oh, little bats. Yeah.
Hit the tires, and that'll tell you whether they're full or not.
Okay.
And that's always good, especially the inside dual.
Yeah.
I've seen them flat so many times, people don't even know it
Yeah, you don't even realize how that's interesting. Yeah.
until it starts throwing rubber around,
Yeah.
causing damage.
What is that noise?
Right. Don't forget about your towed vehicle. We are talking about motorhomes, and most people with a motorhome will be towing either a tow dolly with
Okay.
their car on it, or a trailer with a car on it, maybe even a golf cart trailer. There's all kinds of things, but everybody seems to be pulling something.
Pulling some, yeah.
Yeah. So make sure you check that towed vehicle. Everything we just talked about, the tires and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Proper hitch connection is very important. The braking mechanism. In Florida, it's a law. You have to have brakes on a tow vehicle, towed vehicle.
Towed vehicle.
Even if it's a car. You have a tow bar that's on the front of the bumper of your car, and you pull in it. There has to be an actuator that you have to add inside the car to push the brake pedal. So we saw those too.
Oh, that's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Oh,
So you don't want your car pushing your rig.
yeah.
If you have to
Down the road.
If you have to get in a quick stop.
Jackknife.
situation.
Yeah, man. Oh, wow, that's pretty interesting. Wasn't aware of that.
Yeah. Make sure the lights on your towed vehicle are all working.
Okay.
Some people actually put a light bar on the trunk of their car if they're pulling.
Oh, yeah.
You ever seen that?
That I have.
Those work good, real good, but make sure, you got to check them before you use, just like your Christmas light.
Yeah. Well, I think that even comes into Florida something because you have to have 3 brake lights on the back of any vehicle. Yeah, that's pretty interesting. Yeah, man. I'm going.
Make sure follow the vehicle recommended procedure for when you're towing your car, like the emergency brake needs to be off.
Okay. That would help, yeah.
Make sure the key is in the proper position. A lot of times you need to leave the key on, but not on it, just on accessory.
Right. Just
so that it unlocks the steering wheel.
Oh, wow.
Or you want, don't think about it.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, you're dragging that around, and it's putting a lot of torque, and it'll break something.
Yeah. Blow out your steer.
Make sure your shifter is in neutral, unless
That's a big one.
Yeah. Fuses. Sometimes you have to pull a fuse, and it'll tell you which one you have to pull when you're towing.
When you're towing.
That way, it doesn't register miles and all that for when you're towing it.
Oh, so because it's being towed. Oh, that's pretty interesting. Yeah.
Make sure your jacks are retracted. I think I told this story about the trailers, and I saw a good buddy of mine, Dick Roach, earlier today. He's here today.
Okay.
And he's a big VIP clubber. He's one of the administrators.
Yeah.
So he goes to the campouts all the time.
Okay.
So needless to say, one of his faux pas, shall we say, was using one of my brand new RV rentals and driving off the hydraulic leveling jacks, forgetting they're down, and snapping them all off. And that was thousands of dollars worth of right out of his.
Oh, goodness.
You got to make sure your jacks are.
Make sure your jacks are up.
Make sure if you have wheel chocks, make sure you get them pulled out.
Yeah.
Or you'll be pushing the gas, wondering why you're not moving.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure your slide rooms are fully retracted. Check for debris on top of them before you bring them in. Now, talked about that before.
Yeah.
Because it'll just bring all those bugs and pine cones, and it'll squish the pine cones in top and mess up your gaskets and leak.
Oh.
All bad stuff.
Yeah.
Rip
the vinyl, all that.
Make sure your awning is retracted and in the travel position. Some of them have travel locks you have to engage.
Yep, before we go.
Yeah. Compartments. Make sure they're latched and locked. Most of them have one latch that's a thumb latch, and one of them have a key lock. So I suggest when you're going or coming going to camp out or coming from camp out to lock them all.
Okay.
So they stay nice and tight. Because sometimes we drive through the rain, and a driving rain flying off the rear wheels and everything, you know how wet everything gets.
Oh, yeah.
It can shove, if it's not properly sealed, those compartments, everything in them can get all wet.
Oh, that's tough, yeah,
and,
man.
anything you had in cardboard boxes, guess what? They're soggy.
Yeah, anything. Yeah, anything. Yeah, luggage, all that.
You can feel me. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's kind
of like if your trunk ain't closed on your car and you drive through a driving rainstorm.
Oh, yeah.
It's nasty. Then it gets to stanking. Right?
Stank. Yep.
Make sure your propane tanks are off.
That's a big one.
And again, if you don't have your pilot lights off, that'll for certainly do it.
Yeah, that's what we were talking. Yeah, that is that's probably one of the bigger ones. I guess we should make sure your propane is turned off.
The last thing I always say for people to do around the outside is to make sure that their entry step is in.
Okay.
Because they sometimes assume that when they shut the door, it pulled the step.
It pulled it in, yeah.
Technically, the motorhomes today, when you engage the ignition key, it'll pull it in.
Okay.
But sometimes there's a problem.
Right. Sometimes it doesn't. Pine cone stuck in there.
Who knows?
Anything.
What it could be, a loose wire. I mean, they are electric.
Yeah.
So it could be a glum of things.
Yeah. Because I'm sure that can pull off of there pretty easily if it hits something too.
That's right.
Yeah.
And some of them are 3-level steps. They stick out way out.
Oh man, that's way out.
Oh yeah. So talk about a telephone pole that's close to the road. It'll rip those steps right off.
Oh man.
Probably even pull out the whole floor of the step well inside your your
RV.
Bad deal, folks. That's not a good time. That's bad for your trip. How about the interior? Is there anything special we have to do with the interior?
What is there that we do?
Do you remember me talking about the interior?
I do.
The trailers?
I do.
Give me one.
There was different things on the sense of like the refrigerator. You got to make sure that your refrigerator is shut properly so that doesn't swing open. You know, the same with the bathrooms. Make sure your bathroom's cleaned up.
See, you're learning. You're getting.
I'm getting all this down here.
You're getting the gist. On the interior, make sure that your water pump switch or your water pump is off.
Yep.
The best way to test to make sure it's off is to open one of your faucets, and if it doesn't spew water out,
no water, and we know we're good.
Off.
That's a good.
There's many motorhomes and all that have several switches to turn the water pump on.
Yeah.
So you could think you turned one off when you actually turned it on because one in the compartment outside was on, and you just never know. So it's always because the water pumps of today are on demand, so they won't turn on until you open a faucet.
Oh, that's pretty good. I feel like that's almost like a wife check, you know, when she's yelling, like, did you turn it on? Like, I turned it off.
Step
check.
You know, she can look out the little window and see if the step's in. I mean, we can all have these little tasks. Or the wife's the driver, like my wife is the driver.
Oh, there you go. All right.
Control freak.
That's right. We got to make sure everything's in order.
Make sure your water heater is turned off.
Okay.
Because you should never have your water heater on unless you're actually using it. And while you're traveling, there's no real need to have hot water.
Right.
You know, the big luxury motorhomes, they have what they call aqua hots. And they use the engine to power, to heat the water.
Like the engine's heat?
The engine's heat.
Heats the water so that you...
Yes, it does.
At all. Yes, oh, well, that's pretty interesting.
And then when you're not using the engine, it actually is a big, like a blower or a boiler kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
That it works off the diesel fuel, and it will actually keep
that warm.
Yeah,
oh, that's pretty interesting. Yeah, man. So you always have one more.
Yeah. So really, when you have an aqua hot, unless you don't want to ever have the boiler running when your engine is running because it's defeating the purpose.
Yeah.
Make sure your water heater's off because if you're not using it, you don't want to have that on all the time.
Yeah.
And we shut off your LP. We already, you should have already shut off.
Yeah, we got all that stuff turned off. Yeah.
And it'll keep trying to light.
Yeah.
Kill the battery.
Kill the battery on a constant.
Make sure your furnace is off. Make sure your portable heaters are stowed.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have your furnace running because when you're driving, you have engine heat just like a car.
Yeah.
And hey, it's my opinion. I'm a Florida guy, but if you actually have to have your furnace running while you're in transit, I think you're in too cold a climate.
Better head south.
Get on south.
Get down here to the good weather.
Make sure that your TV antenna is in the travel position. Yes. If it is a crank up one.
The old crank ups. We talked about that one. Boy.
Yeah. Well, also satellite dishes. If they're not the auto ones.
Yes.
You have to crank them up too and point them. So you have to make sure they are down in the stowed position.
That's fine.
And it's one of the most common repairs we make in our shops. That plus tires. I talked about tires, blowout damage. That's another very common one. But people knock those TV antennas off so often.
It's like just a silly cost.
The old crank up ones that actually work better than anything, I think. And you pull on the little dial and you can turn the whole head around to dial in that signal.
Oh, okay.
They're all digital now, but even then you can dial it in and it gets better and better.
Get a better signal.
It's kind of like aiming it towards that cell phone tower.
Yeah.
So with that being said, people forget they're up.
Yeah.
And they stick up 3 feet.
Oh, man. When you take off driving, rip it right off.
Right off. You go, what was that sound? And you see something fly off the back. That was your antenna. Now you got a big hole in your roof. So you get to the campsite that you're going to or whatever, or you get home and you go back out after that and you can't get no TV reception. And your unit smells musty. Why is that?
It's happening. There's a hole in your roof, sir.
Yeah.
Goodness.
Travel positions, travel locks, all that stuff has to be adhered to. Some even slide rooms have travel locks.
Yeah. Okay.
So, again, refer to the owner's manual. If you buy from Giant Recreation World, we do an absolute, complete customer orientation before you take the rig out for the first time, regardless of whether you're experienced or not.
Oh, that's great.
So, with that being said, we have our delivery coordinators that do all the walkthroughs, and they know everything. So,
that's awesome.
They'll give you hints, tips, tricks, tell you all about everything. Yep. Make sure you're properly equipped with the things that you're going to need. We also give you a $50 gift certificate to buy your whatever hose you may not have or whatever. Or if you want an accessory, it's on me.
There you go.
That's a minimum of $50. Some motorhomes come with $200. Whatever.
Yeah.
It's all relative.
Yes, sir.
But
Ask us about our specials.
some units have freestanding furniture that you have to lock in
Yeah.
or tie into place. Some of them have straps built in. Whatever.
All of that.
You got to do all of it. And recliner, some of them, or you can move around, or kind of like
all the chairs, all that.
We'll talk about more. And you touched on it when I asked you earlier.
What you got?
What interior stuff, and you do have to police the interior for just stuff sitting around that you brought. Whether it be bins or whatever.
Yeah, drinks, games, any of that.
We'll talk more about that when we get back from this short break.
Need a golf cart? Check out Icon and Epica GSV, Giant Specialty Vehicles, part of Giant Recreation World. The most affordable on the market. More than golf carts, the hottest electric neighborhood vehicle. Fastest in the industry. Top speeds at 25 miles per hour. Four-wheel disc brakes, seat belts, full color digital display, speedometer, odometer, charge meter, and more. Plus, all Epic cars have higher impact glass windshields and upgraded seats with matching body color stitching. New inventory, colors, and styles at GSV at Giant Recreation World in Winter Garden or online at giantrecreationworld.com.
Welcome to RV Hour, powered by Giant Recreation World.
All right, folks, welcome back. This is Larry here with Dwayne, our producer extraordinaire.
That's right.
And co-host. You know what? This is the RV Hour podcast.
Here we go.
And I'm Larry. And I'm happy to talk about things you should check before you go on a trip in your RV.
That's right.
Or before you leave from your trip going back home in your RV.
Yes, sir.
And specifically the motorized RVs.
Yeah.
So those are you drive it's. Those are ones you get in and drive it.
Yeah. Which are almost, I would say, more fun. You got your family there with you while you're driving around.
I prefer that.
Yeah.
You have room. You can move around. You can play board games.
Yeah.
And stuff.
Yeah, that is.
Plenty of elbow room. You have to go to the restroom. You can just go.
Yeah. That's a fact.
Walk to the back and go. You can make a sandwich. All kinds of stuff.
Yeah. While on the road.
While on the road. While actually going down the road.
Going down the road.
Now peeing, folks, could be an issue because,
Stabilize yourself. Stabilize. Oh, too funny.
That's a fact. So, you can, that's a good visual for you, So we're talking about make sure that you store your furniture properly or loose items.
Yes.
And that's where we cut off.
Yes.
I wanted to talk about what the common items that people forget to move.
Okay.
Coffee pots.
Oh.
Things that are left on the counter as you forget about them. You think it's fixed, because it's so common.
In your home, you just leave it there.
That's a fact. And those things bust so easy and make a big mess.
So clearing your countertops is pretty much
clear them.
Huge checklist.
Me and the wife always put all that stuff inside the big sinks.
Okay. Oh, that's a good one. Yeah.
And many of the sinks have sink covers, so they'll keep it from bouncing out.
Oh, that's a good one.
So
yeah.
That's a really good one.
Yeah, that's a good.
Make sure that it's ready for you stow it kind of like you would stow stuff in a plane, because that motorhome will move around way more than a plane does.
Oh yeah.
You got to think about whether they can move side to side, violently,
right turn.
Not because they're dangerous, just because that's the road.
Yeah, it's a car. Yeah.
You pull out of a gas station, even in your car, and it's it shakes and shimmers real bad. So just think about that, and put everything in the cabinets and all. It can be moved around and thrown around. So situate that stuff so that they can't.
Yeah. Because that's even another, I'm sure, once you get there, you open up your cabinet. If it's not put in properly, all that falls out.
All out, bust and damaged stuff.
Damaged stuff already, yeah.
I got a story to talk.
Okay.
I talked about my man Dick Roach driving off the jacks.
Yes,
well,
yes.
He's not insulated or the only one that hasn't damaged a new rental. Me, I'm going on a trip. I'm taking my golf clubs. And I'm thinking, where do I put my golf clubs? I don't want to put them in the storage compartments because I'm full of chairs and all that kind of stuff.
Down there, yeah.
You know what? I'll put it in the shower. I'm thinking that's
a good spot. Yeah.
That we're not going to use the shower. No,
nothing's in there.
Guess what happened?
Shifted.
It fell over.
Right over.
Bust the shower door.
Oh my!
The glass shower door. Oh yeah, that cost me hundreds. There could have been a much better place.
Oh, I'm sure. But yeah, you don't even think. It's like, well, nothing's in there. It'll be fine. Nobody's using it. Yeah. Oh, man.
You know, and we talked about utilizing the cabinet space, you know. Take everything out of, if you have a lot of room in many cabinets, centralize them to one. That way it's kind of packed in one.
Okay.
You know, a lot of people actually will use, like, shove their pillows up in there too.
Oh, just to keep it all locked in almost, yeah.
From moving around in transit.
Oh, that's pretty good. That is a good tip there.
We have talked about the refrigerator.
Oh, yeah.
Those, again, they make travel lock bars that go inside the refrigerator for when you have it packed full of stuff. That way they don't move around. It holds it into the back of it.
Yeah.
And then there's travel locks for the door so it can't fly open.
So that doesn't come open. Because that's, again, one of those comfortable things. You don't even think twice.
If you slam your refrigerator door at home, what happens?
Oh, yeah. It all
Stuff falls out.
pop right out of you.
And we're doing way worse than slamming it. We're shaking that thing back and forth.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Doing 65 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, well, some of us go faster than that.
Please don't take our rentals over 65 miles.
Please, they're designed to go to the speed limit.
That's right.
Speed limit's always good. If you want better mileage, you go just under the speed limit. Stay in the right lane. You know, I've talked about that on this podcast many times.
Oh, yeah.
You know, don't get mad at that RVer that's in the far right lane going slow.
That's right. He's
RV. He's not in any. It's the experience more so than the rapidness.
Yeah. You know? What is it? It's the journey, not the destination.
Fact, yes. He's enjoying that journey. Hopefully, he's got journey turned up real loud up into his RV and listening. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, make sure refrigerators off unless it's got a power option that is not LP. Which nowadays all the motorhomes seem to have big residential refrigerators. In the old days, 10 cubic foot was huge. Hell, now they're 20.
Really? That's a big old refrigerator. Oh, wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, so again,
full size.
And they have inverters that converts your 12-volt power to 110 just for the refrigerator. So that's fine to be running while you're going down.
While it's gone. Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, see,
very cool.
We're learning all kinds of stuff.
All kinds.
Make sure your stovetop cover is secure. Some of them have flip-up ones, and some of them, the flip-up ones are glass. So if you forget to put it back down, it'll slam down and bust.
That'll break, yeah.
Yep. And also, I've told people this many times, don't put it right down when you're done cooking, because those burners are hot, and that is tempered glass on those. However, just like a glass casserole dish, if you put it on something cold right out of the oven, they'll bust.
Oh, okay.
It'll shatter.
Same there. Yeah, man.
Yeah, I don't know. That's some kind of science, you know? You know, I don't want to talk about that science. I'm not no Bill Nye.
Bill Nye the science guy.
That's a fact. Make sure your toilet seats are down, you know, for transit, because they'll slam down and they could break too. The RV, some of them have ceramic bowls.
Oh, yeah. That thing comes down hard enough.
Might get a crack.
Yeah.
Not cool.
And then over time, you know how it goes.
Bathroom, bedroom doors, make sure they're all closed. All of those have some kind of a latch. Make sure it's engaged. Yeah. Especially the sliding glass doors in them. Like a lot of them are mirrored, so you know it's a good place to get dressed or whatever. Mm-hmm. But those have locks on them too. And if not, you go around a corner and they slide
open.
They're busted, and that's hundreds and hundreds of dollars. I talked about busting my own shower door with my golf clubs.
Yeah.
Well, that glass shower enclosure door can slam open and shut and close, and that'll bust it too.
That'll do it. Yeah.
Man. Yeah. See, all these things you got to look for.
Yeah.
Ounce of prevention worth a pound of cure. I'm gonna say it again.
Yes, sir.
Make sure your windows and your vents are closed, especially if you're putting it in storage. You know?
Okay.
There are options that we sell at Giant Recreation World that are called vent covers, actually.
Okay.
So that you can leave your roof vents open and they won't get water in them or rain.
That's interesting.
That keeps the interior from getting musty and all that.
Yeah, so it still has ventilation without letting the moisture in.
That's a fact.
Oh, that's a good one.
Unless your RV has a jalousie windows, which are crank out windows, I say don't open.
Yeah.
Some of them do have one little jalousie here and there, you know? Yeah. So those are okay to leave ajar a little bit too, so you have some cross ventilation. But if you have 2 or 3 roof vents on the roof and you have those vent covers on them that are vented on the back of them,
Okay.
they're fine to leave them all open, and you get cross ventilation that way too.
Oh, that's pretty good.
It's really good for storage.
Yeah, man.
Make sure all your interior lights are all turned off, especially if you're dropping it off for storage.
Oh,
Don't want to kill them batteries.
kill the battery.
Even though you might have a solar panel on the roof, keeping your batteries charged,
Yeah.
which
that's a
is
big
the
deal.
new thing, new thing nowadays.
Doing the solar panel.
Solar panels. It's if you go in our Ormond Beach location and walk in the upstairs mezzanine,
Okay.
you can see some of these units have 7 or 8 ceiling panels up top there. Especially those big Allegro buses. They are wall-to-wall ceiling panels, folks.
Oh, wow. That's interesting.
That's or solar panels.
solar
sorry.
panels. Yeah, yeah. Oh, that's pretty interesting. Yeah.
Very interesting. But yeah, I even saw a little van that had like 4 of them. I'm like, wow.
Which I got to say, too, we've got a little one that we take camping with us that has for cell phones, just in case. Like if we run out of power for the cell phone, that just sits outside, charge your phone real quick.
That's a Florida man that's been through a hurricane.
Oh, yeah.
That's what that is, right?
Oh, yeah. That's what it is.
Yeah. Unlike me, super professional. I got the whole house generator
Oh, there it is. Yeah.
that will run my house while and I can have my air on and my air conditioning and my TV.
Yeah, man.
Even my cable.
Keep it all running. Yeah.
Even my cable for my Wi-Fi.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So, yeah,
that's awesome.
all right. That's just some things that I say to check. And I got these checklists off of RV Lifestyle and Repair. That's a website, rvlifestyleandrepair.com.
Yeah, man.
And haven't joined it. However, if you do, it's very cheap. It's like a couple of dollars
Okay.
for a year membership or whatever.
Yeah, they are a great
Yeah.
program.
And a lot of technician walkthroughs and stuff that you'll have access to if you subscribe.
Oh, yeah.
A product we sell, Safe Ride.
Okay.
Is sort of like the AAA, or for RVs.
Oh, nice.
And one of the benefits of that is that it's a 24-hour RV tech talk.
Okay.
So if you have any questions, you just call that number. It's 800 number.
And then they take care of it there.
And they'll answer all your questions. And that's a master certified technician on it.
Oh, that's
That's
nice.
Who knows a plethora of information. If not, he'll find out and call you back.
Oh, that's pretty good. That's a good resource to have.
Yeah, some things even the best technicians won't be able to tell you exactly where a switch is for a specific unit.
Okay.
Because they put them all over the place.
That's very funny. Man, trying to hide them on us.
Yeah. So I'm so excited that we're doing this podcast in house.
Oh, yeah. Works out well. We do great with it.
Absolutely. It's a great resource. Again, it's on giantrecreationworld.com.
Yep.
If you go over to About Us, I think, section.
It's on the About Us. Yep.
And then it's the blog, right?
Yeah.
Is that what it says?
It says RV Hour.
RV Hour.
Right above the blog there.
Boom.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, see? I think this is number 7.
Yep.
And
Number
count.
7. And counting. Still rocking and rolling.
If you follow it, we're sorry we missed last week, but my man had a little COVID.
Yes, a little technical difficulty.
Yeah, that COVID is still around.
Yeah, be careful out there.
How was your symptoms?
Nothing. That's the whole thing. The thing said it was positive, so I have to do the positive game. But
Right?
short of that, I felt fine, did fine, everything was fine.
Well, that's a blessing.
So yeah, it worked out
You
well.
said your lovely bride also had it?
Yes.
Probably
The family, the only one, our child, our little girl, she's 12 now. She made it through. Negative, no big deal. Nothing happened to her. Kept her quarantined and everything was fine. Yeah.
Right. That's great. How much time we got left, sir?
We're 5 minutes out.
All right, that's good. I didn't know if I should get on another tangent.
Sure, get on the tangent. Yeah, we got plenty of time.
Go crazy.
If not, it's one of those we do what we do.
I was reading some of the RV business news this morning, and we're still topping the charts with RV shipments.
Yeah.
Yeah. This January, of course, is well below last January.
Yeah.
Which is well below the January before. But still record-breaking pre-COVID numbers.
Yeah.
So that's a very positive indicator.
Yeah.
In our sales meeting with the big Bartow this morning on while I was driving into work,
Mhm.
We were talking about other, what is the trends out there? And it seems like the trends is 25 or so % down.
Oh, man.
And we're proud to say we're only about 5%.
Oh, that's awesome. There we
So,
go.
Again, why? Giant Recreation World has many why buys
Yes.
that are benefits to purchasing.
Yeah. There's always a good reason to come here. Lifetime warranty.
The lifetime warranty is a really big one. Our VIP camping
club.
another huge one,
Yeah. Priority networks,
Yep. If you follow us on the Facebook, you'll saw that we gave away the travel trailer.
Yeah. Barbara
Calvert.
Yeah.
And they instantly traded it in along with their old unit that they had bought from us.
Oh,
They took delivery of their brand new fifth wheel. And
got them a new
They're
unit.
just happy.
Oh, good for
They're
them.
happy. And they have
That's
a really
awesome.
nice one of the east to west Ahara fifth
Oh,
wheels,
wow.
which are really high end. And the east to west has a really good little story. It's I think the newest offering from Forest River, and it's a full line manufacturer. East to west is the call sign, kind of like Coachman or Winnebago,
Gotcha. Okay.
So with that being said, east to west, and the president of that division is the daughter of Pete Legal, who is the CEO of Forest River.
Oh, she's okay.
Yeah. So with that being said, I got to be honest with you, she gets special treatment. So because we're an east to west dealer,
Right.
for everything they make,
Uh-huh.
we get special treatment too for our
that's nice.
customers.
Yeah.
So again, if there's a shortage of any kind of supplies or whatever,
Okay.
east to west gets the first ones. So again, that was a really good decision.
No,
We
it
signed
works
up
out.
with them pre-COVID,
Oh, there we go. That's
just
awesome.
because we were excited about the product.
Yeah, the units that they have. That's great.
It's a great philosophy, and it's run by a woman. She is brings a new outlook to it, and the interiors and all that kind of stuff are awesome.
Oh, that's incredible. Yeah,
so,
man. Good for her. Good for her.
Yeah, and she's sharp as a tack.
Our woman.
Very
All right, so hang on. I got one more topic I'd like you to bring up and
Well,
talk about here.
right.
What did we do this morning for the we have a video that's coming out soon, so stay tuned.
We humbly accepted the preferred partner prestige award
Yes,
from
sir.
Thor Industries, the motorized division of
Yes.
It's our third year running, and by the way, we've only been a Thor dealer for 3 years.
3 years.
Yeah, but
Won it every time. Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
we represent their Challenger Gas Class A's, along with the Mandalays and the new one. It's so new, we haven't even gotten one yet, so I'm not going to talk about it.
Okay.
But we have a new
Stay
coming,
tuned.
so
That's
make sure you
exciting.
come and see it. Then we have Class C's by the Quantums,
Okay.
the Four Winds, the Magnitude.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah,
I like the magnitude.
the Tiburons. I mean, such a selection. I was walking around the showroom here in Winter Garden this morning, and there are 5 or 6 Thor products inside the showroom.
Yeah.
Now, we can fit almost 30 inside our big showroom in Winter Garden.
Mm-hmm.
But with that being said, we're proud to offer that. And even if it's raining, come on out, shop. You can see 30 or so different RVs
Yeah, come on in.
air-conditioned, cool comfort. We'll give you a free warm or hot drink or cold drink,
Mm-hmm.
maybe even a snack. Sometimes we grill on the barbie.
That's
You
right.
never know what you're going to get when you come to Giant Recreation World. you know?
That's a fact.
So, hey, thank you so much for your time. We'll see you next week.
RV Hour, powered by Giant Recreation World.
I found